This is like grape, like red grape, cinnamon, and like orange. It's like really good. Tanzania? Yeah. George, as the kids say, this coffee bangs. I think we're gonna sell a lot of these.
All right, dead ass. I almost forgot the whole reason that I need to go downtown. Give me one sec. It's probably a pretty good range test. I'm about, I don't know, 10 meters away from the car with, what do you call it? No line of sight. So if it's still recording, that is insane. Like I'm inside the building. Oh, the microphone just fell off. Give me 1 second. I don't know if you guys can see me back there, but these are coffees for the Advent that need to be served at Revolver. Okay, I'm definitely gonna check to make sure that worked, because if it didn't, in my experience, whenever these things disconnect, it's not pretty when it comes to how the audio is later. All right, we are back on the Nano. And for those of you who don't know, the Nano recently had an update. And most of you do know this, but you are now able to monitor your video with a mic connected like I am right now. The only thing is that once you hit record, it's the same as before. You can't see. Not perfect, but I'm okay with that, because the biggest hassle before was the fact that I would mount this up high and I would have my mic connected and then I couldn't see. I'd have to disconnect it and then reconnect it, and that was very frustrating. So at least in this case, I can mount it where I want it to be, and usually when I'm using a microphone, it's because I'm away from the camera. So I don't need to see what's happening after it's recording, but obviously that would be nice. The other thing that they fixed is, while the camera is mounted over here, I can now preview the footage on here by just going to the playback. So this is another good thing, because for the same reason, when you've mounted it in a place that's kind of hard to reach, or maybe you mounted it on a ceiling and you want to check the shot to make sure it's good before you kind of get up there and take it down, that's a very valuable feature. So big ups for the Nano to add those updates. I'm not going to give it full credit though, because these are things like, this is part of the issue I have with updates in cameras. We're gonna get into that in another video, but I think a lot of companies have taken advantage of the fact that they can add firmware updates later to not really improve the camera, but to kind of finish the camera after they've made it. Again, a whole nother video on that soon, but it's something that really frustrates me. But anyway, we're back on the Nano. What do you think? I gotta go do some errands downtown. My anniversary is this week, my 5th anniversary. Don't worry, my wife doesn't watch this YouTube channel, so we won't be spoiling anything. But I gotta go get a gift and drop off some stuff at Revolver. So join me on the journey through Vlogmas. A lot of you have been asking me if I still use my Nano, and the answer, well, the short answer is yes. I do still use my Nano, and in fact, I sold my Action Pro like a month ago, or my Action 5 Pro, not because I didn't like it, but because the Nano is basically the same thing, and for my use cases, it's a lot more useful. So I didn't feel the need to have both. So to me, the Nano made sense over the Action 5 Pro. And I love the accessories that it comes with and the way that I can use it. The internal storage, I went with the 64 gigabyte over the 128. And that was simply just because in my whole time using the Action 5 Pro, I never filled up the 48 gig memory card on like a normal vlog. So 64 is even more than that. I didn't really feel the need to go to 128. If you're concerned about memory, or you don't really feel like you can manage your storage every day, then the 128 is probably a better option, because the Nano doesn't really have SD card storage. They market it that way, but in practice it doesn't really work how you would think. You can't actually record media to the card itself. So the card goes into here, and then all of the storage is on the Nano itself with the built-in storage. The only way that you can get the storage off of there is to attach it to here, and then you transfer the data from your camera into here into the SD card. And that sounds cool, but it's, in my experience, it's very slow, and it's way faster to just take the footage straight off there into your computer. So that's why you would get the 128 over the 64, and don't think that you can just rely on internal memory or on storage, SD card storage. That's kind of one of the cons of the Nano, not really a deal breaker for me at all. Like I said, I've never filled up my Action 5 Pro with 48 gigs, so this is much more than that. Sorry. One of the other reasons why I like the Nano over the Action 5 Pro is because it's actually quite a bit thinner and it's easier to fit in your pocket. Even though the Nano itself is like a thick boy in terms of like in reference to itself, it's still, the whole thing is very thin, so it fits into like jeans pocket a lot nicer, and then it's just a nice size. Done. One of the other things that I like about the Nano is that when I want to go like, I don't want to say stealth, but I want to just kind of go more under the radar, I like that there's no screen or anything on it. So like you can just set it down, or you can put it somewhere and it's not obvious that it's on, like there's no light or anything like that. I find with the Action 4, Action 5 Pro, and the Action 6, when you've got that front screen illuminated, I know you can turn them off and stuff like that, but somebody looking, like immediately they see what the camera sees, so it can be a little bit jarring. It's by no means a deal breaker or anything like that. It's just a little perk with the Nano not having that for this context. The accessories are always going to be kind of like a make or break with these types of cameras, and I think they really nailed it, especially with what they include. Like I don't know why you'd want to see me eating my lunch, but the fact that you can this easily, it's got to count for something, right? If you've been watching this channel for a while, you've probably by now figured out that I'm just really not that serious of a guy, but I am kind of just obsessed with getting the maximum potential out of these cameras, like creatively, quality-wise, and just creating fun stories that I find, like I wanted to create a channel for the type of content that I wanted to watch. And I figured if I want to watch it, then there's got to be somebody else out there who wants to watch it too. So, I don't know, I try not to take things too seriously, and I try to remember there are different perspectives on all of this stuff. Not everything needs to be pro level. Sometimes it's okay to have a camera that's just for fun or for getting interesting angles. I'm not specifically talking about this, but I just find like online right now there's so much animosity towards everything, and everyone's just like way too sensitive, and you actually get people clicking your videos who don't even want to hear what you're talking about, but they just want to listen to what you're saying so they can disagree publicly in your comments below. It's kind of crazy. All right, thanks for listening to me rant and having lunch together. That was a unexpected nice date. Thank you.
I'm a bum and didn't work today.
Major shout out to Chad's Garage, or Sprinting with Scissors in this video, I guess, for this epic soundtrack. Maybe don't stand at the crosswalk if you're not gonna walk. That's the problem with these small spots, and then they put the things over here, so if you have a passenger, you can't park close to here because then you'll end up hitting these stupid boxes. Stupid. Okay, as usual, I didn't vlog nearly as much as I thought I was going to, but I did just get this sweet sweater from Menu. It's a skate shop in Gastown, one of my favorite shops in Gastown. And just like, I love skate shops, so I actually bought a full complete from there not too long ago. I gotta get this back to the office. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I didn't get what I need to get done today, but I got some good ideas. So there's potential things cooking, and maybe I'm just throwing all of you off because what if my wife does watch today's video? But anyway, back to the Nano versus the Action 5 Pro and versus everything else. I just found it redundant to have the Action 5 and the Nano for how I use them, because I'm using these cameras more like vlog cameras. If I was using them as action cameras, the 5 makes more sense than the Nano for obvious reasons. But for just kind of daily content, especially when I've got so many different cameras to choose from, this just makes things a lot easier to capture throughout the day and mount it in places like this. Like I've got it right on my windshield, but it's not in my line of sight. It's out of the way, and I'm able to just vlog and live merry.